Hello and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is Stephen Compian. Joined here by my co-host, the man who we bring in when Dan is drunk. Corey Compian's on the job here in person. Corey, how are you?
Doing fantastic. I can perform even well drunk. I still show up.
What? What?
I
That's
know.
crazy.
I know.
That's
Can't be defeated.
that's really really impressive. Well, anyway, Mr. Larry, we got some really important stuff to cover today, Corey. Some real cutting edge sports. First of all, Core, another Six Nations weekend has gone by. There's been rugby played in the United Kingdom and outside of it sometimes, but in the Europe area. And we're going to talk
Is it
about
in
that,
one
Corey.
place? Do we not know?
Now, it's in well, because there's Italy and France, which are very much not in the United Kingdom. So
That's
it's
messed
Europe,
up, man. Because
the
that's like
Europe area.
literally four of the six teams are all in one place.
Yeah, it's a little weird now that you mention it, but it is how it's going down. It's basically England and like, hey, we'll have some random guests. We've talked about this before. I feel like.
It's UK and friends.
It's UK and friends. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think we did say that. Anyway, we'll also talk about some NFL free agency. Hasn't quite hit yet, but we'll talk about who we think is actually going to be free agents and who are just imposter free agents, Corey. You know, these guys who aren't really going to hit the open market and you lusting after them is a waste of time. Waste of time, Corey.
Don't be lusting after people, all right, man?
Who you can't have. It's very sad and useless. So I wanted to start off today by popping right into that Sunday game. We'll get into this whole game here on the recap in a minute. But let's just watch this replay here, which I'm not showing you the screen, Corey, and you deserve to also see it because you're a special, special boy.
Sure am, Steven.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and do this for you. All right. Bam, that didn't work at all. Screen one, right? Yeah, bam, cool. Not the right video. Here it is. You ready? You seeing this? You loving it?
Sure not seeing. Oh, there we
All right,
go.
well, now you're seeing it. All right, here we go. We're in it. Watch this. So anyway, game is tied. End of the game, Corey. If you're more Mr. Pablo beats, you can make this kick. Italy will get its first win over France in probably I don't even fucking know how long. One of their first wins in Six Nations in I don't know how long. Look at this dude. Jumping ahead, charging early. Not allowed, Corey. The ball fell over. He had to go fix it. He only had 7 minutes seconds left on the shot clock. These Frenchmen are still jumping the ball. He kicks. He misses. He misses. It's off the post, Corey.
Not the doink. Not the doink. That's still
Italy.
tough. Oh, buddy,
Heartbreak.
I didn't want that for you.
The
Look how fucked
heartbreak
up your
never
elbow
ends.
is.
The
You're,
heartbreak never ends for Italy.
oh,
Although French
dude.
fans must be wondering, how did this all happen? How did we end up in a position with Italy potentially about to beat us? In a rugby game. That's not a good look. They're not happy about it. How did this happen, Corey? Well, what happened was France played a whole second half down a player. There was while Italy was pressing to get some more points before half. One of the French players, Corey, did some naughty stuff.
Oh,
So
not the
they handed
naughtiness.
him a potential card, which was red or yellow, turned into a red as the second half started. Your boy off. France played 14-15 the rest of the way. Italy takes advantage with a couple good kicks by Fabrizio, and then a nice line play out to the wing for a score. France was dominant in the early going of this. First 15 minutes they scored 10 points, looking like they were going to cruise to another victory over Italy. Not to be, because Italy apparently pressed it down hard and forced a red card, and bam, 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 they get themselves a tie. I think France may or may not be beat at this point for the rest of the tournament, so that's
So it's
fun
an
to see.
option card, as in like they'll decide what it is later, or it's like you get the
Pretty
yellow
much,
and then
yeah.
you
They're
get
like,
another
we're gonna
yellow.
review this further and let you know. You may or may not be fucked. And that dude in particular was fucked. So yeah, he was
What did he do?
out.
He punched someone. He started a fight.
I was rushing through the highlights before we hopped on, so I didn't get the part to see. But I'm sure he did some naughty stuff you're not supposed to
Something he
do.
shouldn't have been doing. Something that was against the
Something,
rules of rugby, Stephen.
something downright
Damn rules in rugby,
fucking
and he broke
rude.
them. One of them, at
Rule
least.
against the rules, indeed, is just unacceptable, and so they threw him out of the game.
Unacceptable behavior. Whatever it was, I'm mad about it.
I'm also mad, and so were the refs, and so he had to go, Corey. So that man was thrown out of the game. And in exchange, Italy gets themselves a tie, although they got to be disappointed they couldn't pull off a win there. A lot of fans upset about the French players running forward, ball falling down. It was just all pretty silly from Italy. Like, I don't know how that happens, that the ball falls down, or how you wait that long, or why the French players weren't called for rushing forward. You're not supposed to charge a penalty. So, you know,
Do they
a lot
not
of
get
a
a
lot of
cute
shady
little
shit.
holder? Does no one get to
They
hold the
could have,
ball?
probably should have, because it did fall at the most inopportune time for Mr. Gabricio. So he was a little thrown off. I'm sure that did not help. Right off the post.
They iced the kicker,
Ah,
man. Can't be icing the
ah.
kicker.
I know it was all kind of shady, Corey. A little shady, shadester, big shade, if you ask me.
I'm mad about it, dude.
I've already sent an email to the commission, so don't
Okay,
worry.
good, good.
We should be covered. We should be covered. Anyway, Scotland, England, bam, it was going down, dude. So England actually came out of this game firing. They were up 10-0, started off. But then the Scottish came back. Mr. Vanderfleet himself just decided to go on an absolute tear. Had himself yet another amazing day. One of his tries was a beautiful kick from Finn Russell. Bounces just perfectly to Vanderfleet on the sideline. He takes it in. Another one, just pure speed, Corey. He gets it was actually off of an interception by Scotland. Quick hands by the person who intercepted it out to Vanderfleet. And dude, he just took that wing to school. He was like, hey, this is what speed looks like. In case you were, confused, wondering what it looks like, it's me beating you to the outside here and going to score on you. And that's what it looks like. So the guy was like, wow, really? That's what speed is? And he's like, yeah, watch this. And he did that. So it was pretty cool. That was a fucking game. Finn Russell was on point throughout most of the day. Some very nice kicks, some very nice 80-20s, tons of kicks in this game in general, Corey. They were kicking it all up and down the field, making our very own Paul Gents quite upset. But he did power through. We did watch Scotland pull off a beautiful victory against the English. Our very own George McHattie was throwing a fit, and so we had to give him a what's it called, a whiskey drink, to calm him down a little bit. And what she replied by giving us all Malibu shots. So I wasn't mad about that at all. Malibu shots are delicious.
That is a weird exchange.
Yeah, it was a little weird now that you mention it. But
here's one drink. Let me multiply this drink by like 4 or 5.
I think he was giving us a punishment, which, to be fair to Paul and to Rich, it was a punishment. To me, it was like, oh, you just gave me Malibu. That's delicious. Thank you.
Oh, so it was like, here's this girly drink. You have to do this girly shot
Something
now.
like that. Yeah.
I
This is delicious nectar, and I'm a pirate. Like, of course I like rum.
Right.
So yeah, it backfired on him. But on the bright side, Corey, Scotland pulls off a win, a much needed win to stay alive in this whole thing. Still got to beat Ireland. Speaking of the Irish, they sort of just beat the living crap out of the Wales. I want to say there was a point where this game was like 17-7, though, Corey. All right, where the Welsh were like, no, really, like, we're here to play rugby. You can't just do this to us. So it was at least a little time in there. And I think the Welsh were even pressing, maybe to get another one and maybe make it like a real game. But then, they did Welsh stuff, knocked it on, lost the ball, and the Irish did Irish stuff and scored. Dude, I don't even know what to say about these Irish anymore.
To go back
they're destroying people.
To the Scottish for a second, do they ever get like the blue war paint going like in Braveheart?
No, but they do have nice blue uniforms.
I feel like that's a missed opportunity. They could totally just be rocking the blue war paint.
We could send them an email after this show.
Yeah, no, I think so. And also, I did some deductive reasoning here, Steven.
Right.
And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that IRFU is Ireland Rugby Football United?
No, Ireland it's E. Ireland Rugby Establishment. Everybody.
No, that's an F. That's IRFU.
No, it's IRE. What are we talking about? This part right here?
No. Under the logo.
Oh yeah, no, Irish Football Union, which makes no sense.
Irish football, and then Wales is Wales Football Union or Rugby Union. Wales Rugby Union.
Yeah. It makes no sense that Irish clubs call themselves football clubs, but a lot of them do it.
They have feet, and there's a ball involved.
It hurts my feelings, Corey. Anyway, whatever. I'm mad about it. Anyway, that's week 3, Corey. There's week 4 coming up. We may or may not have a pick-up for this, people. Okay, so maybe pay attention. Maybe don't. Just keep on living your lives. Either way, it won't change too much. You're just supposed to get an idea of what we think about the Six Nations. But now, Corey, if we're looking at this pool, if we're looking at the facts, Corey, are you ready for the facts?
Dude, I love facts.
All right, so the facts are that Ireland is running away with this right now. They got 15 points. Scotland's at second place at 9. England has 8. France 6. So it has to beat Ireland, is what it comes down to. So far they've beaten France, Wales, and Italy, who you do see at the bottom sections. They still have to play England and France and Scotland. But yeah, if one of those two can't pull it off, which is going to be hard. It's been a long time, I think, or at least a while since either of those two beat Ireland. Hoping I'm speaking out of turn, but it's fine. Whatever.
Who was it I said was going to win this? Did I call Scotland?
I don't know if you called anyone.
I remember calling someone. I forget who though. So,
Great.
We'll see.
What are you thinking at this point?
I mean, it's looking like Ireland. I don't know.
Yeah. So they still got to play, like I said, they still got to play Scotland and England. Who do they have this week? Let's see who's playing this week before we hop into those fine pick'ems, which McCaddy may be on for. Isn't that nice? Scotland got Italy, okay. England, Ireland. So that's what's happening, Corey. England, Ireland is happening. Hopefully the English can pull off a win. That would be sweet. And if Wales wants to beat France, I'd be okay with that too. These are some of the things I'd be all right with. Corey, but more importantly, we also have to talk about NFL free agency. And
well,
like I said
before we get into that, speaking of like blowout games, do you want to? So Costa Rica football just kicked off this Sunday. They had their first game, and I was aware of this because turns out as someone who plays in that league for like 12 years, I'm friends with many of the people. So I saw all their hype videos the night before and like the day of. They're like, "Yeah, game day, football's back, let's go!" And it went kind of predictably. The Toros beat the shit out of.
Let me guess. The Toros lost, right? Big upset.
Well, no. They beat the returning Bulldogs. The coach from the Bulldogs, they disbanded. They came back, but now they're not the Bulldogs, D-O-G. Now they're the Bulldogs, D-A-W-G. Which that team is basically the Saints from last year, reinforced with a bunch of my old teammates because the Pumas folded. And they didn't do well. It was 58-0.
Oh no.
The Lions did something similar to the Knights, which the Knights, good for Pettis, man. Those guys out in the boonies, not a lot of guys, but they just show up every season. They're just in it to win it. Really cool uniforms. And they also lost, maybe the Toros was 48-0, and the Lions beat the Knights 58-0. I know it was very high numbers to very low numbers. So it would appear once again the Toros are going to play the Lions in the final. This is week 1, and I'm already making these predictions.
Collision course for each other. Wait, there's only 4 teams in the league?
There's 4 teams in the league this year.
Oh man, it's hard times.
It's a dying league.
It's a dying league. That's so sad that it never really completely took off.
Well, the thing is it peaked. It did really well. There was like 2 divisions going on, but there's only one coach in the country, so people will play for these bad teams, get frustrated, be like, this is bullshit. No one shows up practice. No one's taking this seriously. I'm going to go to the Toros because I, want to win. They go there, and then just all the good players go there and all the bad players wash out. So there's basically the dominant force that's going to demolish everybody and then everybody else. So you're really basically playing for second.
That's super sad.
It's a bummer.
More people should join the Lions and try to overthrow the power. I mean, we're saying this as like former Toros players and such, but still, I want the competition.
I mean, if I was in the country, I'd probably be playing for the Knights right now.
And Pettis own?
They travel, So the Pettis they have a lot of the Tigers also. So I feel like they have like a San Jose practice squad and a Pettis practice squad. So I think I could just play with the ex-Tiger players in Heredia. And then, they would drive into San Jose for the games and it'd be like, oh, yeah, we're totally on the same team. Tee-hee. Even though we're like
practicing. Yeah, That's super effective. I can't imagine why they're not a more dominant force.
They
Especially
got like
offensive.
12 dudes out there.
The best
They're
of
doing their
offensive
best.
linemen like figuring out like stop. Okay, we can't win this team. That's sad though. Poor Costa Rica football is on its way out, huh? Anyway, no,
they're
well,
still
hold on.
around.
So they're still around. Hopefully they can survive. I mean, I don't want to see it go under, but I mean, you need more than 4 teams. That's pretty sad. I don't know if they're going to keep Chris Jones, Corey. What do you think? Are the Kansas City Chiefs going to do that? I can't imagine him playing for a different team, but at the same time, he is 30. He wants a lot of money.
I'm pretty sure after they won the Super Bowl, they pretty much said like, "Oh, he definitely wants to play here. We're gonna make it happen because we want him to be part of the three-peat." Like, I think he wants to. Like, at first he wasn't sure, but then once they won the Super Bowl, I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely fucking staying here." That's at least one interview I heard.
And he did say that during the parade, all drunk, that he was going to stay. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins probably leaving Minnesota. Not totally for sure.
I heard that apparently he wants to be a Viking, and they said they think they can make it happen.
I've also heard that. We'll see what kind of money he's commanding. As we can see, he's the top quarterback in the free agency, so he's probably going to get a very nice contract at 36 years old. Pretty good. Good for him. I can't be hating on that. Good old courage to be making some good money throughout his NFL career. No hate here. Josh Allen, I imagine he might want to leave the Jaguars and go play for teams that actually win, but who knows? He obviously a very high prospect here. This is all so skeptical. You know what I mean?
I
like
heard
even all these top 5, I could see them re-signing. Like Christian Wilkins could absolutely re-sign with the Dolphins. Why would you let him go? He's your leader on defense. Brian Burns, the argument for the Panthers keeping him is that they could have traded him like 2 years ago for a boatload of first round picks and didn't. So it tells me they want to pay him, and you probably have to at this point because otherwise you missed out. Although the Panthers do hate draft picks. Darius Sneed, an absolutely fantastic year with the Chiefs last year, makes him high on this list.
Did some stuff in the Super Bowl too.
All these players are going to want to be like, yeah, no, he was on our cover. All these players are going to want to re-sign with the Chiefs. Like, why the hell wouldn't you? It's kind of crazy over there right now. And then Justin, I'm not going to try. Phenomenal season out of this young man. I think he led the league in sacks. Will the Ravens be able to re-sign him? It's going to be hard, but I mean, if he does hit the market, dude, 26 years old, one of the best tackles in the league, the boy's going to get paid.
Steven, I saw an absolutely hilarious. I'm sorry, continue, but I saw something very hilarious. I'm going to send you on Discord that I want to see if you can pull it up.
Okay. I think I got our conversation right here, so yeah. Antoine Winfield, I really hope the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not let this man outside of the door. That'd be absolutely tragic. He had a phenomenal year. I've been yelling from the rooftops about how he was robbed for a Pro Bowl selection, but just absolutely phenomenal year, phenomenal career so far from the 4 years he's been with the Bucs. I don't see the Buccaneers letting him walk out the door. If they do, I might have to murder someone.
Why? I was going to say number 10. Why is Mike Evans so far down this list? I guess because he's 31 now?
He's 31 now. People have been underestimating him his whole career, so
that's what I'm saying.
Ain't nothing he's not used to. And then there's Danielle Hunter. Obviously a solid rock over there for the Vikings for many years now. 20 years old. He has been just racking up sacks most of his career. Takes a lot of double teams. Hell of an edge rusher. Vikings have a lot of decisions to make. With Kirk Cousins, him. I think Jefferson is also due. So they got to resign some guys.
That's interesting that he put a clause in his 1-year deal that they can't franchise tag him.
Okay, I don't know if the fans can see this or even me.
Can you do full screen on Discord? Open in browser maybe, or do hold control and roll your mouse wheel. It'll zoom in.
It does not.
Did I lie to you? I lied to you. Oh well. But it's basically just saying Tyrod
A
Taylor
little
had
bigger.
an identical year to
Oh yeah, I did kind of see this. That's
Ty-
pretty close. Pretty close in 2015.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were
So
pretty upset about Lamar Jackson winning MVP. It made a lot more sense, I think, before he had that absolutely collapse in the playoffs. I think that's why people are like,
dude, in that game in the playoffs, he just had no offensive line. His offensive line just
I mean,
literally bailed him.
They stopped running the ball. They
Yeah.
suddenly were just like, we don't need to run the ball. We're just gonna put it in Lamar Jackson's hands, and it's gonna be great.
Like he
He
was
did
throwing
throw the ball into like triple coverage though. That's like one of those throws in Madden where you're just like, oh my god, what was I thinking? I have plays where I literally stare down people and just.
He threw the ball like 3 of his passes got batted. Like he had no help. They were in his face all day. Like he literally caught his own pass and took it for a first down. Like my man was out there doing what he could. It just they were coming at him so early and often.
You gotta run the ball. I don't know what the heck happened.
I don't know why he's getting blamed for that game.
He had the ball so much. It was really put in his hands and he couldn't do it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. But also whatever. I don't really care. I'm just bitter that he they dropped the ball so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike Evans hopefully also will not leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we don't know. We got to resign a lot of people. Him, Baker, Antoine Winfield, Lamonte David. It's tough out here. We're about to lose a lot of guys who I really like. I hope we can resign them all. We'll see what happens. Jalen Johnson. I feel like this guy's a free agent pretty often. Or maybe I'm wrong. Bears? I want to say Bears. Is that who he's with? Corey, you don't know who Jalen Johnson's with? Oh, it was the Bears. See how smart I am? So very good year out of him. He was all over people. Some good coverage for sure. So that should be a solid free agent. I like seeing Evans above Michael Pittman because Michael Pittman is a lot younger and has been phenomenal. But Mike Evans is Mike Evans, guys. A little respect.
He's been around. He's done some stuff. Is he younger than OBJ or is he the same class as OBJ?
Evans is the same class as him. I'm not sure who's older. I think Evans was pretty young for his class, so he might be younger.
So he just been on the Bucs since OBJ, and just 1,000-yard seasons the whole time.
10 consecutive. Yep, the whole time. And it was hilarious because out the gate, everyone was like, OBJ's the best out of that class for sure. Now it's really coming down to between Mike Evans and hold on, Devontae Adams, who are probably going to be one of the two. Which one will be decided the better one? It's probably depending on which fan you ask. If it's a Packers or Raiders fan, they're going to say Devontae Adams. You ask a Buccaneers fan, we're going to say Mike Evans. So I think that's what that will come
I'm going to say Devontae Adams as.
Yeah, a lot of people would. But does he have 10 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, Corey? No,
I don't know. Does he?
No, he does not. Mike Evans is the only receiver in NFL history to pull that off.
All right, take that, Devontae Adams.
That,
loser.
Devontae Adams. Also, Mike Evans has a ring. Devontae, not so much. Anyway, all these good arguments, we could get into it sometime whenever we bring on Taylor. But anyway, Michael Pittman, hell of a receiver. I think a very strong free agent. I don't think the Colts are going to let him out the door. See, that's what I'm talking about. With like these top 20 or so, it's like these teams aren't going to let them leave. Tyron Smith wants to go back to the Cowboys, but we'll see what they do. It's crazy he's only 33 years old. It feels like he's been in the league for like a century now. And he's just still there.
Just been around. Just been around.
Barkley, I think, is moving on from the Giants, right? I don't see the Giants re-signing him again. Like it's a mess over there.
He hasn't wanted to be there for a while.
Well, he signed like a 1-year deal with them last year for like no money.
I think crazy. They franchise tagged him and then
he signed another one. It's been crazy, dude. Like he really did sign like a terrible 1-year deal. I remember we kind of criticized it before on the show. So I would like to see him leave and go to someone who wins and just no more wasting Shaquan Barkley over there. Okay, let him go into the league and flourish. Jonathan Greenyard, no idea who this dude is. Probably should. He's an edge rusher and he had 12 sacks last season, so that's pretty good. Corey, he's 27 years old, still pretty young. We'll see if the Texans can re-sign him. And then Calvin Ridley. What did he make of this guy? Pretty solid year over there with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I didn't realize how old he was. I, for whatever reason, was thinking of him as like a rookie.
Well, he's been in the league for a minute, and then he just sat out a whole year too.
Yeah.
So he's had some issues, but he came back strong. Good year out there with Trevor Lawrence. Will he get the money he's going to want though? As a rep age 29, they start to look for that real big receiver money. We'll see if he gets it. I think he might have a little bit to prove still. Then a good old offensive guard. No idea who this dude is from the Patriots, but I'm sure he's decent. No offense, Mike.
Oh, so Leonard regard that no one knows means you're doing your job.
100%. Well, not that nobody knows him. I'm sure our boy Cooper O'Connell knows him. Leonard Williams is still kicking around the league, doing his damn thing. I remember when this guy was coming out of the draft. He's not the type of edge rusher who racks up a shitload of sacks, but he's a hell of a run defender. He's a big boy, very valued at what he does. So if the Seahawks don't want to re-sign him, he'll find a home very quickly. And then Gardner Johnson, the favorite people. Remember, this is the dude who was waving at the 49er fans when they were up at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
Huge trash talker, this guy. Was talking piles of shit about Baker Mayfield. He was previously with the Saints, where he also talked plenty of shit about the Buccaneers. So I'm not the biggest fan of this dude, but he is good at football. So he's probably going to get either re-signed by the Lions, which kind of suits him, or he'll probably go back to the Saints, which suits him even better because they're a shit organization and he's an asshole. So it would make sense. Moving on, Bryce Huff. Yeah, I don't even know who this dude is either, Corey. You don't know who the fucking Bryce Huff is? God damn it.
I know he's a 26-year-old edge rusher because it says right there.
We'll move right on.
Apparently, it's hard to know where to rank him. So
Kendall Fuller, what used to be with the fucking Bears. I think that's where he used to make his name. So he might be hitting the market. That makes sense. At 29 years old at corner, it's hard, but he is good. So he should be all right. Xavier McKinnon, I signed this dude in Madden one time, and he is very good, so can condone that. He had a solid year with the Giants last year. I expect him to get paid as well. Kyle Duggar, hell of a safety. Really hope this guy hits the free agent market. Maybe the Buccaneers can find him a strong safety because he is very good, Corey. And then Marquise Brown. I can't believe this dude's still kicking around the league, getting paid. He's only 27 years old, so... Oh, you know who this is? This is fucking Hollywood Brown. Yeah, dude, I don't believe in this dude. I can't even pretend like I do anymore. He's a solid. I think good sports put it best. He's a number 2 receiver.
So I shouldn't hate on him he's a good. Speaking of good number 2 wide receivers, Michael Gallup, not a spectacular year. Lots of roast came his way in this household from our brother Manny. But I've been following the dude on.
To be fair.
Yeah, not a great year. But I've been following on Instagram. My man is just touring the world and looks like he's having a blast. I am here for it. If you got that kind of fuck off money and the dude's like 20-something, what? Dude, he was in Amsterdam. He was in Thailand. He went to England. Like, of course that's what you're supposed to be doing when you're like in the off season.
Yeah, shout out Michael Gallup. I appreciate that, bro.
Dream, bro.
Good for you, dude.
I really hope you bring back Gilmore. Like,
yeah,
he was a rock there, dude.
He's 33 years old though, and he's at corner, and he definitely got roasted.
Fine.
He got roasted against the fucking Packers. That's for sure.
Yeah, but
everyone in the secondary.
Everybody got their ass kicked. It was a tough day,
except for Michael Parsons. Matt balled out.
That day, we just decided that we wanted to all take nappy naps. No one really wanted to show up and play football that day, but yeah, it happens. I think
we got like a couple weeks before they
I'd be happy to have him back.
We got like a handful of weeks before they got to either pay these guys or let somebody else pay them. So luckily we'll have some answers.
There's probably no way we're getting him back actually, because Trayvon Diggs is going to come back, and Jerome Bland just had that crazy year. So we're probably not going to keep Gilmore.
Probably not. Patrick Queen is only 25 years old, Corey, and one hell of a linebacker. I'd be curious if the Ravens could bring him back. They did bring over Roquan Smith, but he was an excellent pairing with Queen, so I think it makes sense to bring him back. But at 25 years old, dude's going to want to get paid.
I saw this clip of him just like blowing up a run in the backfield where he just like goes through a blocker, dives at the guy's ankles, and makes a tackle for loss. And he gets up and he's like, I do this. And I was just like, that just bit in my head now, dude. Anytime I do something, I'm like, I did it well. I'm like, I do this.
He's a badass for sure. I've been following him a while. But then good old Jacoby Brissett still out there. How fucking dare they rank Jacoby Brissett in front of Baker Mayfield. What the fuck, dude?
I
That's not
love
with this list. Fuck this whole list.
I love how quickly
dare
you've
they?
become a Baker Mayfield supporter. You were so doom and gloom about it at the beginning of the year, and then your man
I
Baker
wasn't
won you
super
over.
excited about it, but this
He
is
won you over.
bullshit.
You won a lot of people
What
over.
are they basing this off of? The handful of games when Brissett came in there and looked okay? Wasn't like he was winning. I can't even. We're fucking.
He proved he can keep an offense afloat.
I can't even. Who the fuck made this list? Fucking Greg Rosenthal. I expect better from you, Greg.
Yeah,
I expect better from you. I really do. That guy has a good podcast. I expect better from him. I'm just
take that, Greg.
You just ruined the whole podcast, Greg. So I hope you're happy.
You've ruined
What the fuck was that, dude? We're out of here.